The money keep calling my name. Dollar signs make you sing.
I'm Ashley Haas, and you're watching All In. I'm about to tell you what I am all in on right now, and it is a celebrity football relationship that you are not going to believe. Do you think that I'm talking about Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld? Because I'm not. Do you think that I'm talking about Justin Herbert and Madison Beer? Because I'm not. Oh, I'm talking about Stefon Diggs and Cardi B. Oh, yes. Oh, nailed that. Oh, I love doing it. I've been practicing that at home. I'm not going to lie. This is the celebrity relationship that I have been dreaming of. So Cardi B was just at the Patriots game last week, and it was the most adorable thing to see her with child, and the two of them were posing on the field after the game, and she was bragging about Stefon's touchdown, and it was just everything I want in an NFL love connection. And Swifties don't come for me, because I still love Taylor and Travis as prom king and queen, but these two are just giving real fun love, and it is a modern day couple, and I am here for the realness. And you don't need to be somebody's first, you want to be their last. And with that, I'm going to talk about the matchups that we have this week, because there are some good ones. And I definitely need some help with my fantasy football because a lot of my players are injured. So we are going to bring on an expert right now. Joining me today is a trusted analyst who I need help with my waiver wire. I'm sure you do too, because there's so many injuries right now in the NFL. So I had to bring on Sports Illustrated analyst. He is a fantasy sports writer in the Hall of Fame and the host of Locked On Dynasty Podcast. I'm talking about the one and only Michael Fabiano. Hi, Michael.
What's up, bud? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Welcome. Thanks for
Week 10 already.
I'm so glad to get you back.
It's flying. It's flying by.
I know. You know what's so crazy? I actually was looking up week 9 schedule, and I'm like, how are we at week 10 already? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just feel like the older I get, the more I'm like, wow, I really get how people say time's flying. I'm like, I don't even know how we got here.
It is so true. I mean, I'm 52, and so like every year goes by faster and faster and faster. I mean, I feel like I just took my Christmas stuff and put it in the attic, and now I'm taking it out in a couple of weeks. It's just insane.
Well, number one, you look fabulous. And number two, I can't even believe that oh, you're so sweet. But listen, I actually was just in Los Angeles the other day, and I went up to my neighbor's house to give her, my key to make sure everything's good. And she had her Christmas tree up, and I was like, are we there already? Like, she was that person that the second Halloween ends, it's Christmas tree up. So
yeah, no, it's too soon. I wait until the week before or of Thanksgiving, and then I'll decorate everything. But yeah, too soon right now.
Yeah, I'm actually of both religions, and I celebrate all holidays, but I will wait until closer to, like I said, Thanksgiving is around the time. I thought Halloween was a bit too early, but there's a lot we have to break down. So as much as I'd love to keep talking about the holidays, because, I do love it, I want to talk to you and get your advice, because there are so many injuries right now in the NFL, and there are some great games. There's some great people we can pick up. There's also some people we should probably surprisingly sit. So I kind of thought, let's start things off with a surprising sit. Who do you think is one of these people that haven't been performing the way they are expected to?
Yeah, the first name that comes to mind is Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara has been legit one of the best running backs in fantasy football for most of his career. We talk about Christmas. Remember that game several years ago? I think it was against the Vikings where he had 5 or 6 touchdowns. I mean, he's been phenomenal.
I had him.
But he's having the worst year of his career. I mean, he's averaging 9 points a game. He had 7/10 of a point. 7/10 of a point last week. I mean, that's terrible. And even against Carolina this week, I mean, the matchup's not great on paper. It's not bad on paper, but I just don't trust Alvin Kamara at this point. The Saints are a dumpster fire. Their entire offense, even Chris Olave last week when Tyler Shook took over and was the starter, his targets went down. I think he had 4, and that was it. So, yeah, it sucks because Alvin Kamara was drafted to be an RB2 in a lot of leagues, and now he's going to kind of go into that group of running backs who turned 30 and fell off a cliff. And there's been a lot of them in the history of the league. But Kamara's,
do you think Kamara's
I don't know how you play him right now.
Do you think Kamara's done, or do you think he's just having an off season?
No, I think he's done.
The Saints have just been terrible in general, though.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Really?
I wonder if, listen, it happens. Eric Dickerson, one of the greatest running backs of all time, he hit 30 and you go downhill. I mean, it's a lot of wear and tear. And, Alvin was a different kind of back, pass catching guys, not like a Derrick Henry who took a ton of punishment on his body. But still, I mean, he's been playing in the league for a while. And it's just one of those things where you hit the big 3-0. And I know that seems very young, especially to me. But in football terms, it's old for a running back.
Yeah. No, that's really interesting. And okay, so let's talk about some more running backs though. Who are some sleepers that maybe people should pick up instead? I mean, who do you suggest?
So these guys are probably not available in most leagues. And if they are, you probably need to switch your leagues because running back is like the ultimate. It's just very difficult to find anyone who's viable on the waiver wire right now. I mean, I guess the only guy that I could think of in a competitive league might be Amari DiMercato, but that Carolina or that Cardinals backfield is like so ridiculously confusing every week that you never know who's going to get the touches. But in terms of people who are on rosters who maybe not starting, Zach Charbonnet has got a good matchup this week against the Cardinals. I think you could play both him and Ken Walker, even though that's a headache of a backfield situation. I like Woody Marks this week against Jacksonville. Nick Chubb's a little bit banged up. Jacksonville's defense has allowed 3 running backs to beat them for over 18 points since week 4. But running back is rough. Like there are leagues where I'm starting running backs and I'm like DiMercato, where I'm like, geez Louise, man, I got to cross my fingers and hope I get like 10 points. And that would be a win. Running back's real tough, especially with the injuries. And you got 4 teams on a bye. So it makes it tough. And there's so many committees in the league right now. And other situations where just players haven't performed up to snuff. Kamara in New Orleans. We all thought Bill Krosky-Merritt would be something in Washington. He has not been. We all thought Ken Walker would be the dude in Seattle. It's been a committee. So running backs, it's kind of a pain in the butt this season.
Yeah, running backs and also quarterbacks have been getting injured too. I can't even believe how many quarterback injuries we've had this season. I think it's been more. Does it seem like there's more injuries this year than usual, or is that just we say this every year?
Yeah, I feel like we say it every year.
I feel like we say it every year.
I really do. But the big one, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was like amazing as a rookie, and this year he just can't stay healthy. And
But shouldn't they have pulled him from that game? I don't think he should have been playing that.
Well, I mean, Dan Quinn even said he should have. Yeah, I mean, it's like Robert Griffin III all over again for Washington fans. Remember, he had an amazing rookie year, and then he just couldn't stay healthy. They played him in that playoff game, and his knee was jacked up. And now you've had Daniels, who's had injuries earlier in the season. And then if you've got a weak stomach, do not watch his elbow go the wrong way.
Oh, I know. It's so
earlier
bad.
in the week, it was horrible. And now you got to lean on Marcus Mariota. And then Kyler Murray. I don't know if he's hurt or not. That's a weird one because there was video of him practicing and it looked like he was kind of ready to come back and start. And then the Cardinals were like, no, we're going to go with Jacoby Brissett. And oh no, Kyler's going on IR. There's some weird stuff going on in that quarterback situation. But now, you don't have Kyler Murray. He was drafted to be a starter. So yeah, quarterback's been a bit of a dumpster fire. The good news is that we've had a couple of guys who've actually emerged as really good fantasy starters. And one of them is Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart has been awesome. 19 plus points in every game but one. He had 27 last week against the Niners, and he's got the Bears this week, so he's a really good play.
Interesting that he still did so well last week. I thought last week he was going to have his stats would have gone down a little bit on fantasy level because he didn't have his running back that he's so used to with Scadaboo talking about wrong different ways, like that leg went the wrong way. But no, but back to also Kyler Murray's situation though. I want to reiterate that I was actually going to ask you, with the Jacoby Brissett and that. I also believe, who do you think is actually better? Their stats-wise, fantasy football point-wise, comparing the two, who do you think they should go with?
I mean, in fantasy, it's Kyler because he could run with the ball. And I mean, people get they get enamored with these backup quarterbacks and forget that Jacoby Brissett's been on 100 teams. And
he has.
The reason why is because he's adequate. Well, he's not great. And so now, maybe this helps Marvin Harrison Jr. Trey McBride's already awesome, so it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, really. But, listen, Brissett, he had a good game. The Cowboys stink. They're horrible. And so now he's got Seattle. Let's see what he does against the Seahawks, because that defense is the truth. That's a really good defense. So I would rather have Kyler Murray under center, but unfortunately, fantasy and real football, if you don't win in real football, you're going to get your butt put on the bench. In fantasy, we don't care if you win or lose. We just want your points.
So true. But speaking of points, I want to talk a little points with a little point spread. So you are the fantasy football guru, and I am the betting guru. So let's put this together, our knowledge, and let's help everybody get the best fantasy points in the best way that they can make their best predictions. So let's start things off with the Falcons at the Colts. This game is in Berlin. I never can get up early enough for these games, I swear, especially if I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, I mean. But the Colts just acquired Sauce Gardner. Speaking of some players from the Jets, I think this should boost their defense a bit. What do you like from this game? I have been back and forth between the Falcons and the Colts because the spread is almost a touchdown. The Falcons, while they have talent, they've been inconsistent, and that's a bit of a concern. But Sauce shutting down London does leave Kyle Pitts open as a main target. I was leaning towards a Kyle Pitts over 40 receiving yards, and I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
No, I could totally see that. How much Sauce can digest and absorb in terms of the defense in less than a week, right? I mean, and he's got to get over to Germany as well. So, I know Drake London, the matchup just got worse. I don't care. Drake London's awesome. I'm going to play him no matter what. And Kyle Pitts has not been bad this year from a fantasy perspective, and I don't think that's a big number to be concerned about in terms of him going over that total. The Atlanta offense, I mean, it's in fantasy, it's kind of chalk. It's Bijan, it's London, and it's Pitts if he's got a good matchup.
Right.
They don't really have much else, in terms of fantasy assets. Darnell Mooney has not been great this year. And so, and their kicker's been a disaster. And yeah, kickers are people too. And you have to start one in fantasy in most leagues. On the Colts side, you trade away A.D. Mitchell. By the way, that's a good move for his dynasty value in fantasy, because now he's going to get a chance with the Jets at least. And I know it's the Jets, but still. But Alec Pierce has been quietly good. Josh Downs has been quietly good. Michael Pittman's been very good this year. He's averaging right around 16 points per game. And then, Jonathan Taylor, obviously that guy's going to be in your lineup every single week.
Beast.
Daniel Jones is coming off a stinker at 5 turnovers last week, which is Daniel Jones from the Giants. And so hopefully that doesn't happen again this week. I have him in my top 12.
What did Daniels do last week? What was his points?
Daniel Jones did not have a good. When you turn the ball over 5 times,
I can't imagine.
It's either 1 or 2 points for that. So I mean, he was under 15 points. He had been very good. 22 plus in the previous 3 games. I guess everybody's, you can have a bad week at any week, but Daniel Jones, for the most part, has been ridiculously great for your investment, because you either didn't draft him or drafted him really late, and he's been mostly phenomenal. But last week was his worst week by a mile.
But we're all allowed one game, Hey, I do think that
trust me, I know.
But so from this matchup, who do you like the most to go over receiving yards then? If it's not Kyle Pitts, who would you put it towards?
So, I mean, Pitts is a good one. I haven't looked at the receiving yards props for this game just yet. My guess is that Josh Downs would be an option. Alec Pierce would be an option as well, especially if you believe that Drake London is going to be shadowed by Sauce this week.
I think he is, but I mean, who knows? They could switch things up, or also, like you just said, that is a long flight. I forgot about the fact that he has to come, it's like, and he's just being thrown into it. I mean, I kind of get it though, because I moved from the the West to the East and got thrown into it. And I was like, oh, what do you do? Where do you go? Like, I felt like a traded athlete. Working for this show. I felt like a traded athlete. Okay, well, speaking of that, let's talk about the Giants at Bears. Okay, so the Bears are 5-3, coming off of a 47-42 win against the Bengals. And Dart, like you mentioned, has had an incredible year. But, I keep going back and forth, because this game to me could be a coin toss. It really could. Like, I know the Bears are just coming off this win and they're home, but I feel like the Giants could also be like a sneaky win here. I don't know. They're getting 3.5 points. I'm not sure. I might not touch this game, but it was one that I do find weirdly interesting, even though both these teams aren't really Super Bowl contenders. You never know, the Bears could possibly be. I'd love to see it if Chicago could get there. I know.
I have friends who are Bears fans that probably just would be swearing at me right now. But no, their defense is not any good. They've had some injuries back there in the defensive backfield as well. So for me, I would expect the Bears at home to win. And the Giants, God bless Jackson Dart. I mean, he's been so good, and he hasn't had Malik Neighbors, and now he's lost Cam. The backfield's kind of a disaster right now between Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary from a fantasy standpoint. I would say this. Wan'Dale Robinson is getting 1 million targets a week. He doesn't do much with them, like his yardage totals are never great, but in PPR, he's had a very good floor, and I'd play him this week. Theo Johnson's kind of a sleeper type. He's been sneaky consistent 4 games out of his last 6 with double digits. And on the Bears side, like, which Caleb are you going to get? Like, you had really good Caleb last week, and then the 2 weeks before that, you had crappy Caleb. And he's been really up and down, peaks and valleys. I love Roma Dunze this week, even though they had no points last week, which I'm like, how did they score 49 points and Roma Dunze did nothing, right? And then his dad was all pissed on social media. And Colson Loveland, if Cole Kmet can't go this week, Colson Loveland, who had that huge game, by the way, no matter who the tight end is facing the Bengals, you play that. If Ashley is going up against the Bengals defense and she's lining up in the slot as the tight end, you can guarantee 5 for 40 and a touchdown. There's no question about that. They've been that bad. That's a confidence. Yeah.
Well, kind of. Thank you.
So,
I was going to say, wait, hold on. Listen, do you know how many times when I'm watching games that I'm like, put me in, coach, I'm ready. Like, we all do that, right? We're all like, I can throw better.
It's funny
that's actually, what were you going to say?
Anita Marks? Anita Marks played, she's a dear friend of mine. She works for ESPN. She played in a women's football league a long time ago, years ago. And then do you remember? I don't remember what it was called, but it was like this women's league, and they were wearing like lingerie and shoulder pads. Do you remember that?
Football. The football, the lingerie.
Yeah, one of my friends was actually in that league too. It's very
no way.
Yeah, Danielle Monet, who was Summer Rae in WWE, and now she's like a runway model. You made a face
like you didn't enjoy it, but I'm sure you enjoyed watching really beautiful women in lingerie playing football. Let's be real. Everybody did. I even did. I was like, oh my God, the bruises. Yeah,
not going to disagree.
All I could say to that was, I don't know how they weren't covered in bruises, because I walk by something and I get a massive bruise on my legs. Like, I always like to say I'm like a second day banana. I don't understand. I'm just like always covered in brown bruises. Like, and I'm like, where did that come from?
Well, what the heck are you doing that you're falling down and bruising yourself, Ash? What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm always running. I'm always running around. I'm never not going. But
invest in a good pair of sneakers. Don't be running around in heels.
Hey, no one can ever see my fit, but my sneaker game is actually quite good, although mine is.
You got Jordans there?
No, these are actually Louis Jordans. But I got them at the Real.
They're Louis Jordans. Excuse me.
They are, but I got them for $225, which is still quite a lot for sneakers, but actually great for Louis Vuitton. I'm just gonna say I love thrifting. I love a good steal.
Yeah, I don't have any Louis Vuitton sneakers. Sorry, I got some Jordans. I ain't got no Louis Vuittons though.
Listen, these are thrifted. I am the queen of that. Do you know how many times on the red carpet people will stop me and they'll say, "Love you." I remember that's actually how I met one of my people I've had on my show. They said, love your look. Like, where did you find this? And I said, thank you so much. It was from Canal Street. Thank you.
All right. I thought you were going to say like Marshalls or TJ Maxx, but probably they don't have that stuff.
I do love a Marshalls and TJ Maxx as well.
Right.
Ugh, love it. But
yeah, I've never been on a red carpet either, so I wouldn't know about that stuff. I'm not fancy like you. I'm just like sitting in a studio 24/7 trying to help people win their fantasy leagues. No fancy stuff for me.
Hey, listen, you see me, I'm constantly on my laptop. I'm constantly searching for things. There isn't a time that doesn't go by that people are not randomly asking me who they should start, start as well. People ask me fantasy football advice all the time, but mainly they're always asking me for advice. On Sunday, I need to shut my phone off because the amount of times it blows up Sunday morning till the night, please let me know, who should I take? I'm like, watch My
You want to hear?
show.
You want to hear a funny story? Funny story.
Tell me.
One of my friends, I will not name her name. We used to work together at NFL Network. We are still very dear friends to this day. She was pregnant. She went to her gynecologist. She was in the stirrups. The gynecologist, knowing what she did for work, asked her if she could text me a fantasy football question while she's in the gown and the stirrups, and she did. And I thought that was pretty funny.
Like, hey,
yes.
What's your picks? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Hey, you know Michael Fabiano, right? You think you could text him? I'm not sure who to start this week. Yeah, that happened.
Hey, listen, that's a testament to you. And also, she needs a new gynecologist, but that's a whole side point.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I do still need your advice. So, okay, let's talk. I want to talk now about, I actually like the Ravens at Vikings game a lot, even though, you know, the Ravens, I love that the Ravens are a 4-point favorite here. And Lamar Jackson's back. This is a must win for them to stay remotely in the picture. I mean, it can be done. They can win more games. The Vikings did just beat one of the best teams in the league. It was because I think the Lions were probably due for a loss. It was a division rivalry. You know, you just never know at division games. So this matchup to me, the Vikings being home again, and they did have that home field advantage last time. I don't know. I'm leaning towards the Ravens at -4 here. And I wanted your advice, and also if there was anybody you think that we should start. And
yeah, I mean, I'd probably be leaning Ravens as well, like in this battle of purple, right? I mean, Grimace has got to be at this game. He's got to love it, right? If you don't know who Grimace is, McDonald's, remember? Yeah, it was that big, scary, purple thing, and yeah.
I do remember that.
So
our younger listeners won't, but us old
right? Yeah. I mentioned stuff that people have no idea what I'm talking about all the time. It's 80s stuff, whatever. But the Ravens are chalk, right? I mean, Lamar's in your lineup. Derek is in your lineup, the king. I like Zay Flowers with Lamar back. And Mark Andrews is somebody that if you need a tight end and somebody in your league has some depth at tight end and they have Andrews, I try to trade for him. Because now that Lamar is back and Andrews has the easiest schedule rest of the season for tight ends, he's got the Bengals twice. The Bengals are the defense that actually could score 15 points against. They are awful, and Andrews has got 2 matchups against them in addition to a whole bunch of other good matchups in terms of defenses that give it up to tight ends. On the Minnesota side, I don't love anyone. I don't love anyone. And J.J. McCarthy, hey, he had a great game last week. He won, and maybe a little bit of the monkey off his back. Do you know that in his 3 starts, he hasn't completed more than 14 passes in a game?
Really?
If I've got Justin Jefferson, I'm scared out of my mind about that. Jordan Addison, same kind of thing. T.J. Hawkinson, same kind of thing. This is not Kirk Cousins. This is not Sam Darnold, who's throwing the ball 35 times a game, 40 times a day, and completing, more than 50% of those passes.
Yeah.
So Addison had a bad game last week. Hawkinson had a touchdown. He still didn't score double digits. Jefferson had an okay game, but Justin Jefferson's a guy that, I want 20 a week from, and I'm not getting it. So I don't love a lot. I mean, obviously you're starting Justin Jefferson. I don't love McCarthy. I don't love Addison. I don't love Hawkinson. It sucks because it's a 180 from past Vikings teams where these dudes were in your lineup. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But McCarthy, he won in fantasy. He's hurting you in terms of the wide receivers and the tight end production or lack thereof.
Now, what do you think about the Lions at Commanders game? Because, like we said, Jaden Daniels is going to be out, so he left the game in the aircast. This matchup, I like the Lions. It's an 8.5-point game. It's quite big. I mean, I do lean more Lions here, although, I don't know. I mean, is there we talked a little bit about quarterbacks we would pick up, but, is there somebody that you think as a backup or somebody on the waiver wire that performs better than expected?
I think you could do worse than start Marcus Mariota this week. When Jaden Daniels went down earlier in the year, his numbers were fine. He could run with the ball a little bit. Detroit gives it up to quarterbacks.
Even against the Lions defense?
And if you're looking at negative game script potential, the Lions just coming off a loss, as you mentioned, they're going to be pissed. Yeah. And Dan Campbell's going to have that team fired up. So if you're in a negative game script, which means Washington's going to have to throw the football, Mariota's going to have to try and make plays. I think Mariota is a sleeper type quarterback this week if you need help at that position. But as for the Commanders, I don't love anybody else. I mean, you could start Deebo Samuel. He's done nothing really in the last month. Bill Krosky-Merritt's been a dud. I don't love Zach Ertz against this Lions defense, and he hasn't really been great without Jaden Daniels if you look at the splits.
Yeah.
And then on the Detroit side, I'm starting everybody. I'm starting Jared Goff. I'm starting Gibbs, obviously. David Montgomery, where I need a flexor running back. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a must start. Laporta's a must start. I even like Jameson Williams this week, who's had 16+ in 2 of his last 3 games. I like Detroit's defense. I like their kicker.
Yeah,
so I think, obviously, this is going to be a one-sided game. I think Detroit wins big. The Commanders are in big trouble. They're in big trouble.
Commanders, because say you did, have Daniels. That's why I'm saying, like, if you need a replacement, like that's where I'm like, okay, so you think Marcus Mariota is a good start?
Yeah, if you're hurting, like I'd play him over Trevor Lawrence this week. I'd play him over Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has got a brutal matchup. Houston's good, man. Oof. Yeah, their defense is nasty good, and I don't love Tua against Buffalo, so I would 100% play Mariota. I probably got Mariota in my top 20. So there's a bunch of quarterbacks that I would play.
Doesn't Trevor Lawrence kind of remind you of like the fourth Hanson brother a little bit? He's so.
I don't remember what the Hanson brothers look like. Honestly, I was never into the poppy boy band stuff, but
he looks like a very beautiful woman.
That statue with the face with the nose thing or whatever. Like I see Trevor Lawrence, I see that. You know what I'm talking about?
I feel like his hair is always longer than mine, and I'm jealous of his hair. But yes,
it definitely is not. No. No, it doesn't look as good either, Ash.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I need to get it blown out, but thank you.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to worry about that. So I'm no blowouts here.
Your hair looks amazing. You're always amazing. You gave us so much good advice. I really do appreciate you. Seriously. We needed this because there's been too many injuries in the NFL, and I felt like the viewers needed help. I know I needed help because I've been helping my friend with his fantasy league, and he told me we had 3 people out due to the not even injuries. This is just for the bye week. So I have a league. It's a high stakes league I play in with a bunch of people. Yeah. It's for charity. So me, The Miz from WWE, my buddy James Rode Rodriguez, Thomas Everett Scott, we play in these high stakes leagues, and we're trying to win money for kids' cancer research. Oh. And this week I have CeeDee Lamb out, Rashee Rice out, Terry McLaurin out. So I'm basically screwed. I'm literally playing like the Mario Douglas. And last week in that league, I won starting Parker Washington and Olamide Zaccheaus. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good in fantasy football. Yeah. Can I say as an honest thing, I don't know who either of those guys are. Parker
Washington is he's going to be started in some leagues this week. He was the number 1 receiver for the Jaguars last week because Brian Thomas Jr. got hurt and Travis Hunter was out. Big pickup off the waiver wire this week. And then Zaccheaus is a slot receiver for the Bears, and Luther Burden was out. So he got more burn, and then it's the Bengals, and they're not any good. So,
well, listen, I'm always honest, and if I don't know something, I have to ask because, I'm like, I don't pretend. So that's why I was like, I'm never that girl that's like, yes, I know exactly who that is. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
That's right. Olamide's, that's right. Yeah, him.
Oh, yeah. I know him. Yeah. Actually, or my mother, who's just like about Kyler Murray. I don't know him. But again, I appreciate you so much.
She might be taller than him.
Oh, she's definitely taller than Kyler.
Right. I mean, how tall are you? You're how tall?
I'm 5'10" and a half.
Right. So I am Kyler Murray-esque at 5'8". So you would tower me and Kyler Murray.
Listen, I've been taller than certain basketball players too, especially the ones that are, when their numbers are 0 or 1. Usually I'm a little bit taller than them. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah. But, listen, I'm Italian. My parents are short. I was cursed at birth, unfortunately, with the height.
No, you're perfect the way you are, and you have the most beautiful brain. It doesn't even matter your height. We appreciate your guru-ness. Yeah, I would rather be shorter, and I'd also rather have straight hair, and I'd also rather be... There's a million things I'd rather, but this is what we got. I was gifted the way of picking games, which I'm going to have to do for these beautiful listeners right now. I'm going to give them my top locks. That's coming up right now. So thank you so much, Michael Fabiano, for joining us. And guys, check out his podcast, Locked On Dynasty. And you are definitely going to have to come back and help us later on towards playoffs. So thank you so much, Michael.
You got
it. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Thank you. And now it's time for Ashley's Locks of the Week, where I'm going to give you my pick 6. Let's start things off with number 1, the Browns, baby. I'm going to take them to spread them because they are going to be playing the Jets without the sauce. Easy, breezy, beautiful. Cover, girl. So cover it. I'm going to then take the Lions. I know I do this every week, and honestly, I'm still going to take the Lions to cover the Commanders. It's an 8.5-point spread. I know the Commanders are home, but without Jaden Daniels, I'm just not believing in this Commanders team anymore. I think Washington isn't looking like Washington. So I'm going for the Lions to get the redemption that they need after that loss against the Vikings. I think they're going to cover the spread. Spread them. The Ravens are a 4-point favorite, and they're playing the Vikings, who the Lions just lost to. So they are a team, but they're a little inconsistent. And honestly, with Lamar Jackson being back, he has a lot of work he has to do. They has to get this team back to where the Baltimore Ravens should be. And honestly, with him plus King Henry, I do think that this team is going to win. I think they can cover 4 points. So I'm going to say spread them again. Now let's talk a little over-under, because the Bills at Dolphins, while it's also a division matchup, and the Bills should clearly win because the Dolphins have been terrible, it is a division matchup, and I just could be a trap game. And I don't know. The 9.5 points it's a lot. It's a lot to give out. So I'm going to lead to the over-under. The total points there is 50.5. While I do think the Bills could easily put up 40 themselves, and they probably will, I just don't know about the Dolphins. So I'm going to lean towards taking the under here. And I do hate taking an under. It's like wishing for no more presents. Like you want more touchdowns. But I'm going to take the under. So that is my fourth pick. And then my fifth pick is Kyle Pitts, over 40 receiving yards. I just think that he is going to be a weapon of choice. And I know I don't like these European games as much for points, and you just never know what you're going to get if the athletes are tired. But I believe in you, Kyle Pitts, and you're going to get me over 40 receiving yards. So take that for my pick number 5 and my pick number 6, because you know I had to do it. The Eagles are going to be playing the Packers. And, excuse me while I just take a sip of my water. The Eagles are getting 2.5 points. And this is where I'm going to take an underdog, because I do believe in my Philadelphia Eagles. So I am going to be all in on my own team because I'm all in. And I'm Ashley Haas. And that is my pick 6. Guys, I want you to leave me a comment because I want to hear from you. And I'm going to put one of your next comments on this video in my next show. So make sure you like, you subscribe, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.
The money keep calling my name. Dollar signs make you sing.